today's video, I'd just like to share that 94% of my viewers aren't subscribed. So if you are feeling generous, be sure to drop a like and a sub, and let's get right into today's video. Thank you. Howdy, my name is Daxio, and this is Plugged In News, and in today's pin update, we have hundreds arrested, fined in Australia amid nationwide protests against lockdowns, as well as report State Department hit with cyber attack, extent of breach unclear. And for the last story today, we have at least 22 dead and many missing in Tennessee floods. Let's get right into that. And for the first story today, this is coming from the Daily Wire by John Brown, and it is hundreds arrested, fined in Australia amid nationwide protests against lockdowns. And it goes on to read, police arrested more than 250 people Saturday as protests swept Australia in response to renewed lockdown orders amid rising cases of COVID-19. Anti-lockdown protesters swarmed the streets of Melbourne and Sydney, which led to the hospitalization of several police officers, according to Reuters. Mounted police used pepper spray in Melbourne to break up crowds of more than 4,000 surging towards police lines, while smaller groups of protesters were prevented from congregating in Sydney by a large contingent of riot police, Reuters said. In Melbourne, 218 people were reportedly arrested, 236 were fined, and 3 people were placed in custody for allegedly assaulting police. In Sydney, 47 people were charged with violating public health orders or resisting arrest, and police issued more than 260 fines. And I got a crazy video to show you, so I'll show it to you at the end of this segment, but it's honestly insane. And since last Saturday, residents of Sydney and its state, New South Wales, have faced potential fines of $5,000 for violating the extended stay-at-home orders. So Australia, they're obviously done with all this bullcrap. They want to be able to live their lives in freedom, so it's pure chaos. Here's the video right now. Alright, and for the next story today, this is coming from Breitbart by Amy Furr, and it is report State Department hit with cyber attack, extent of breach unclear. And it goes on to read, the State Department has reportedly experienced a cyber attack, and notifications regarding a possible serious breach were issued by the Department of Defense Cyber Command, a source recently told Fox News. It remains unclear if any department operations were affected by the breach, but a source familiar with mass evacuation of thousands of Americans and Afghans from Kabul said Operation Allies Refuge has not been affected. I don't know what that has to do with the State Department getting breached, but this is just news. It was allegedly breached. And meanwhile, the extent of the alleged breach and those behind it remained unclear. The department takes seriously its responsibility to safeguard its information and continuously takes steps to ensure information is protected, a department spokesperson said. For security reasons, we are not in position to discuss the nature or scope of any alleged cybersecurity incidents at this time. Obviously, what this sounds like to me is something went either seriously wrong or nothing bad happened. So we'll most likely find out in the next week or so. Hopefully I'll get to report on that. And for the last story today, this is pretty tragic. At least 22 dead, many missing in Tennessee floods. I also have a video for this. Just pure destruction. This flood absolutely tore through the middle of Tennessee. So let's get right into it. At least 22 people were killed, and rescue crews searched desperately Sunday amid shattered homes and tangled debris for dozens of people still missing after record-breaking rain set floodwaters surging through Middle Tennessee. Saturday's flooding in rural areas took out roads, cell phone towers, telephone lines, leaving families uncertain about whether their loved ones survived the unprecedented deluge. Emergency workers were searching door to door, said Christy Brown, a coordinator for health and safety supervisor with Humphreys County Schools. Many of the missing live in neighborhoods where the water rose the fastest. Humphreys County Sheriff Chris Davis said their names were on a board in the county's emergency center and listed on the department's Facebook page. The dead included twin toddlers who were swept from their father's arms, according to surviving family members. The sheriff of the county said about 18,000 people live currently west of Nashville, and out of those 18,000 people, he lost his best friend. Up to 17 inches of rain fell in Humphreys County in less than 24 hours on Saturday, appearing to shatter the Tennessee record for one-day rainfall by more than 3 inches. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee toured the area, stopping on Main Street in Waverly, where some homes were washed off their foundations. and people are sifting through their waterlogged possessions. Shirley Foster cried as the governor walked up. She said she learned a friend from her church was dead. I thought I was over the shock of all this. I'm just tore up over my friend. My house is nothing, but my friend is gone, Foster told the governor. The hardest hit area saw double the rain that area of Middle Tennessee had in the previous worst case scenario for flooding, meteorologists said. Lines of storms moved over the area for hours, wringing out a record amount of moisture, a scenario scientists have been warned may be a common cause of global warming. So they try and blame global warming on this. I don't know if that's all true. But anyways, another terrible story. Here is a video of just one of the towns that was completely destroyed. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, be sure to drop a like, drop a sub down below, drop a comment, let me know how I'm doing, let me know what I can do to improve, and thanks for staying plugged in. Peace out, boys.